G'day, ajmahari here. This isn't brand new news for anybody. However, it bears repeating. After a BPD, or for that matter NPD, relationship breakup, whether you were ghosted, whether you had to end it, no matter which way it ended, nothing short of full no contact is going to help you heal and recover. In fact, every single time you have any contact whatsoever, reverse Hoover, stealth Hoover of social media, or you get hoovered and you engage, you leave one avenue of contact open and you have not closed the door on the focus, the desire to change the focus on the ex or the person with BPD you had to go no contact with, or a narcissist. You must fully go no contact when it feels most impossible. Please know this is a compassionate message, a reminder, a hopefully motivating impetus for you to realize just how impossible your recovery from the relationship, and subsequently after and or during codependency recovery, is impossible when you're still in contact with a borderline or narcissistic ex, the borderline or narcissistic dysfunctional family of origin, the borderline parent with no treatment who's been driving you crazy your whole life, or the narcissistic parent, or a narcissistic or borderline sibling. There's, you've been rescuing them forever. They're just, and nothing ever stops. And it's always the same thing. And they're interrupting your life, and they interfere with other people's marriages. They interfere with families. They interfere with everything. But here's the thing, I'm just trying to be motivational. Full no contact is what is required. Nothing less and nothing more. And this is different if you have children. It might have to be extreme low contact. But I'm not going to focus on that in this video. This is for people, whether you are the adult child of a borderline or narcissist, ex of a borderline or narcissist with no children involved, or their grown children, family member, sibling of a narcissist or a borderline, and you keep getting rewounded. Full no contact is the only solution. It feels impossible. So you are, as a codependent, after a BPD or NPD relationship breakup, you are in this middle of impossibility that is the most excruciating, painful thing you've likely ever experienced and felt in your life. You are in between not knowing how to be with yourself fully, not wanting to be with yourself, not wanting to face the dysfunctional relationship you have to and with yourself, and not wanting to go through the withdrawal that happens, especially with the love addiction aspect. That is more so the case for some, but not all, with codependency. And that initial withdrawal, if you're full no contact, doesn't last as long as people think it does. Because what else is happening is you're starting to feel the loss, the pining, the longing, the beginnings of grief. And some people really want to escape those feelings equally as much as they want to escape anything else. And it does bring about a really heightened, acute loneliness. And the other thing about all of this is that you have not loved altruistically. This was not your soulmate. This was not meant to be. It was an unhealthy bond. And the reason you can also feel an extra painful longing beyond even the beginning of loss and grief is because your wounded inner child, that person with BPD or the narcissist that was in your life in many different relationship types, is so familiar to your wounded inner child that there's a pain, and a part of this pain that is so in your subconscious, so coming from your past, that you're not maybe yet aware of or understanding or going to be able to deal with that right now. But there's lots of reasons in all of these situations, and the no closure among them, why people have so much difficulty closing the door or leaving it closed if you were ghosted, But again, I just really want to stress, this is your way forward. You need to close the door. You need to, for the first time in your life, care enough about yourself and to understand that you are not the person abandoning anyone. You've been abandoning yourself. That for you to go no contact fully from the borderline or narcissist that was in your life, the ex, the family member, the sibling, the parent, whatever the case may be, you are not ghosting them. You are not doing anything to them that they did to you. You are taking care of yourself and putting yourself first for maybe the first time in your life. That you wouldn't be, quote, not being yourself, unquote, if you were to take care of yourself. You won't be breaking beliefs and values if you were to take care of yourself. People feel this way, and these are actually often rationalizations and justifications, and it's your codependent programming from childhood. You're not altruistic. You don't love extra specially. In fact, it's not even healthy, and it's not healthy for you either. And it's not about that you can save or rescue anybody. It's about your continued self-abandoning, which is a re-abandoning to one degree or another for people with codependency, of yourself, of the very precious, wounded inner child in you that is so longing for you to give even an ounce of the attention to that part of self inside that you've given and overgiven to the ex-narcissist or borderline. If you don't do what feels impossible, make that most difficult choice. Make the choice with the most adversity. Decide to be the kite that's going to learn how to fly higher into the winds of adversity. Because if you don't make those decisions for yourself, you are blocking your own recovery. And more to the point, you are increasing your own pain and suffering. And every time there's any contact, stealth Hoover of social media, reverse Hoover, for any reason whatsoever, you're going to be rewounded. Any ground you've gained will be lost. Whether they contact you or you want to contact them, you have to go full no contact for yourself. Avoid getting in touch with your ex. Do not allow them any opening to contact you. And if you give in to that urge to contact, it totally stalls your healing. No contact is necessary. Full no contact. Nothing short of that. So that your mind can adjust to the new order of your life going forward. Contact just puts you back into the old world, and the mind slams on the brakes. And again, the hyperarousal of your amygdala begins with fight, freeze, or fawn responses. As your stress and pain levels increase, mounting that threat to survival again for the amygdala, the reptilian brain that's going to try to protect you, as if you're being launched at by a tiger that's about to devour you, which puts you right back into the state that you might have just started to get out of, where you were just starting to feel a little bit better, to grieving or beginning to adjust and beginning to move toward healing. Go and stay full no contact. That means no phone calls, no emails, no text messages, no accidentally on purpose run-ins. Going totally no contact means you also totally block and entirely unfollow your ex on all social media. So whatever it is, Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat, LinkedIn, Pinterest, all the other things. Block them on all the other apps out there, because there's many that I'm not going to think of, or there's some out there I've barely even heard of. This is a unbelievably difficult boundary to set for yourself. It is a boundary called one word sentence no. That's what you're going to be saying, not literally, but you're saying that to the ex or the person, whoever it was in your life with BPD or NPD. It's a big no exclamation mark, full sentence. Nothing gets explained, and there isn't going to be any closure there. So you don't want to maintain the illusion of continued connection. You don't want to try to be soothing yourself or calming yourself or trying to address your pain with any delusion of just one more hit, just one more time. Being disconnected entirely means accepting the reality of the breakup. And it's exactly what people need to do, especially as a recovering codependent. You need ample time and space away from the person, but this isn't something you're going to change in the future. That this person that you were enmeshed with, and that you thought you loved who they were, so that you can get in touch with yourself. And I'm trying to motivate you and remind you and stress for you why full no contact is the only way you can go here to recover. Otherwise, you increase your suffering. You will continue to be in pain and you will block your recovery, and your pain will continue to exponentially get worse, which is something that's hard to imagine because so many people struggle with full no contact because, of course, that makes your pain worse for a while. And while so many people with codependency, after being ghosted, a relationship breakup, maybe going partially no contact, just say, well, I can't go full no contact because I'm not ready yet. I can't is a choice. It's a choice that goes against yourself, and you're never going to feel ready. It's time to just take that action for yourself. It brings up the grief. It's complicated, complex grief in its own right. But I just want you to know I've been in your shoes. I am the ex of a cluster B myself. And that's my reality for years now. I'm on your side of the fence, and I know what it feels like. And I remember after the BPD NPD alcoholic, when it was finito that day in May, it was May 8th, 2007. I still remember that. So as I say this to you, please know I've walked in your shoes. I'm not just saying this as the counselor and coach that works with people, that's making these videos to help you. I'm also saying it as the ex of a BPD comorbid NPD alcoholic, so and two quiet borderlines. When I totally cut it all off, all the contact and everything, and I remember at least 6 to 8 months of rumination. And part of the reason for the rumination struggle is how to get to full no contact, to be able to begin the radical acceptance that the relationship is over. Because until you do that, you can't really get into processing and feeling the grief. So radically accepting the relationship is over, going no contact is crucial to really being able to start making incremental progress in healing. If this resonates with you, I mean, I'm out here to work with you and help you if I resonate. But the other thing I want to say is, please know and hear me when I say, I have walked those unforgiving months to a year and a half to 2 years in a person's life as a codependent, just not knowing what you're going to do with yourself from moment to moment. I have walked that walk, I talked the talk, and I went through it, and I got through it. It is the strongest, most foundational, fundamental healing. And then healing the codependency, which didn't happen right away, but really I got a lot of that work done then and continued on. And I'm not really codependent in my life. I don't really have codependency issues in my life at all. And I'm in a fantastically healthy relationship now, and I've had a couple of others along the way. I've been in your shoes, so I've walked the talk. I'm not just talking the talk. And if you have heard this message from me and others a million times, let this be the one time when you really sit there. I want you to go look in a mirror right now, or I want you to re-listen back to this part. Go look in a mirror right now. Look at yourself. Why don't you love yourself enough to do this for yourself? What is it that you need to know more about yourself? Why can't you let go? It's not that you can't, it's that you won't. Why won't you let go? Why won't you do what feels impossible but what you need to do so that you can start to move forward and recover and heal? Look in that mirror at that person and try to visualize the wounded inner child inside of you. Take a step toward yourself today. Full no contact from the borderline or the narcissist in whatever relationship type is the only way. I hope if you haven't done it yet, nothing short of that. Get out of your own way. For once, as impossible as it feels, know that you can stand this pain of full no contact because you deserve it. And it might not feel like that for a lot of people with codependency. Codependency can be an extremely deep wound. It's not the same for everybody. But you need this, you deserve this, and you must choose it for yourself. It is a big first step to getting to know yourself and to becoming your own best friend and to finding self-like and self-love and to creating a functional and healthy relationship to and with yourself. Because that's your utmost task now. Never mind the next woman, the next man, the next relationship. How about you start a process going full no contact right now, no matter how much it hurts, because it's only going to hurt more if you don't do it, so you can start to build a relationship with yourself. Take care.